And we are live. How y'all doing today, Cash Sports? Y'all already know what it is, man. We are talking about football today. Y'all already know I am excited. Whenever we talk football, man, I'm always on the fences, man. I'm always happy to be talking about the one thing we all love to talk about, man, and that is the National Football League, right? I mean, any sport really gets me riled up, but whenever the football season starts coming up, my blood just starts boiling a little bit, So, before I get into anything, I know y'all see that article right here next to me. Before I get into that, please like and subscribe to Cash Sports Podcast. Please, I would graciously appreciate it. Help a brother out, man. Because this platform is not just for me to sit here and talk to you guys. You guys can come in, debate. We can have that conversation about anything that pertains to the topic, or as long as it just builds organic conversation that pertains to what we're talking about. I'm all open for it. Just in case if anybody wants to join, right? I'm going to stick that link right in the comment section. Boom, right then and there. So anybody who can join in, anybody that wants to tap in and talk some football, I'm here. I'm ready for it. So let's jump right into it because I don't want to waste no time, right? So we are going to be talking about the NFC East projections, right? This division is always crazy every single year. Let me take this out so you guys can see all the other parts to it. So this division is always crazy, right? It's always known as known as one of the worst divisions in football. Strictly on the basis that this, they just have a lot of teams that just aren't good, sadly, and one of my teams is in this division, and I know it breaks my heart. It's the New York Giants, right? So we're not projected to win anything this year. I don't see us going anywhere this year. I am not a Cowboys fan, so I'm not going to sit here and tell y'all, that my team is going to go anywhere or take the division. I have no hopes. I have no hope in Danny Dude. It is out the window. But, we're going to sit here and we're going to talk about this division because it is always in the headlines. It is always interesting to talk about this division because there's never been consecutive winners of this division in a long, long time, right? So let's tap into it. I want to get into this article. Before I get into that, as you can clearly see, this article is from The Athletic. You got to give credit to where credit is due because a lot of people work hard on this, man. You got to give credit, man. So this article is from The Athletic, right? If you guys want to tune in, I highly recommend that you guys get The Athletic. You do have to pay a subscription, but if you guys are avid sports watchers, I highly recommend you guys get that Athletic because then you'll get breaking news. Y'all get the latest trending topics. Y'all get sports bets, right? Projections, predictions, odds that can probably go in your favor, right? So I would definitely say tap into that. Right? So NFC East projections: Cowboys division favorite, Eagles and Commanders playoff hopefuls, right? So we already know the four teams in this division is the Philadelphia Eagles, the Dallas Cowboys, New York Giants, and now the Washington Commanders, right? So let's read into this first paragraph a little bit so we can kind of get a glimpse of where this is heading. So the Philadelphia Eagles stole the offseason headlines for the NFC East by acquiring A.J. Brown, but it's a quarterback league. And the Dallas Cowboys have by far the safest option at quarterback within the division. The Cowboys and Eagles both have dreams of making a deep run, while the Giants and Commanders would be happy with a playoff berth. However, this looks like a clear two-team race for the division crown. I'll be using my NFL projections model and simulating the NFL season 100,000 times. Woo, that's a lot. To take a deep dive into the NFC East and identify how likely each team will win the division and make the playoffs in the 2022 season, right? And then so I want to point this out right here. Ooh, you already know what we're about, right? Cash Sports. So you already see all odds are taken from BetMGM, right? So you guys got to make sure y'all tuning in. And if you guys place y'all bets, right? Y'all can go on any betting website. Just be careful. Obviously, if you're in a state where gambling is illegal, please look up your laws and your rights to make sure that you guys are doing the right things. I don't want you guys to get in trouble. I don't want you guys to tune in to Cash Sports from prison, from jail. Come on now. I don't want that from y'all. So come on, man. Make the right things. But at the end of the day, have some fun. Because that's the point of this, man. Is to have fun. All right, so let's dig into this first team right here, right? The Dallas Cowboys. They're the first team to pop up, as we can see. So the Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott's second half struggles in the 2021 season were because of his calf injury, and he's back into form for 2022. Prescott has a talent to be a top 5 quarterback in the NFL and puts a whole season together, resulting in a Super Bowl victory for the Cowboys, not to mention their first conference championship since 1995, when I was 2 years old. For reference, Dak Prescott was 7th in EPA play before his calf injury, and the rest of the season he was ranked 15. So if Dak Prescott can produce to his early season abilities, the Cowboys will be plenty fine. Sorry, I read that a little bit wrong, but I'm not perfect, man. So what did I take from that paragraph? What does that mean? What are they trying to say? Well, it's no mystery that the Dallas Cowboys do have the best quarterback in this division. And they are right? The NFL has become a quarterback league. So in order for you to make a deep playoff run or even to have Super Bowl aspirations, you must have a good to decent quarterback. And we already know Dak Prescott, right? He's got his contract deal, right? So he's making max dollars. He's making the money that he's supposed to be making at the quarterback market. And then so compared to Daniel Jones and Jalen Hurts, and who's the quarterback for the Washington Commanders? Carson Wentz. And then my personal quarterback, Danny Dudu, right? It's a home run for the Dallas Cowboys. There's really nothing to compete here, in terms of just that position, right? But Dak Prescott is just one man. That the Dallas Cowboys have a plethora of problems and issues that regards to the Dallas Cowboys. So there is not a lot of certainty when it comes to the Cowboys. Yes, we are convinced that Dak Prescott is the best quarterback, but we can make a very valid argument that the Dallas Cowboys are not the best team in this division, right? So they pointed out Dak Prescott, but another thing that they do have to point out, right, that I have to point out, is that they said the Eagles and the Cowboys are a two-team race in this division. Right, so the Cowboys are just the favorite. They're looked at as the favorite going into the season, but we already know betting odds, right? Preseason predictions, man, that stuff can go out the window the moment things start to compile and things start getting underway. You see what I'm saying? So, yes, Dak Prescott is the best quarterback in this division, but it's not stopped there. The loss of Amari Cooper will certainly hurt, even more so when factoring in Michael Gallup not returning for the first month of the season. But I expect Dak Prescott and this offense to be fine. CeeDee Lamb and Dalton Schultz will draw out enough attention to make life easier for everyone else, right? So you got to factor in the fact that they just lost Amari Cooper for a 5th round pick, right? And Amari Cooper was a big contribution to Dak Prescott's success, right? Michael Gallup is hurt. We already know Michael Gallup, he's a playmaker. He can ball. And they're not going to have him for the first half of the season, or at least for the first month. And so the Dallas Cowboys are putting all their eggs into one basket, which is the quarterback to wide receiver duo in Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. So now, this year, everyone is looking at CeeDee Lamb as being the number one receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. And so I have no other reason to believe that he won't perform. I'm just saying that it's not enough. It's not enough. Especially now that things just came out that the Cowboys just lost their best offensive lineman in Tyron Smith. Not for the whole season, but that's still a very big loss for a team like the Cowboys, who have been known for having a really great offensive line over the years, right? So before I get into the Cowboys, I just want to get into other teams at the moment. So let's get into another team. So we talked about the Dallas Cowboys, right? And we could talk about if things go wrong later on. But also, I want to point this out. So the Cowboys Super Bowl odds. My model gives the Dallas Cowboys a 6.5 chance to win the Super Bowl, which ranks 6th in the NFL. I'm calling bull job. I wouldn't even say it's 6. I say it's negative 0.025, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It don't matter. Cowboys don't even have a 5% chance to win the Super Bowl, man. Get out of here with that, man. Here. Oh, I'm sorry. Airball ACPVV. I'm sorry, man. I can't comprehend what you said, man. So if you could get that in English, then I get better with getting at you. Void, man, shout out to you, man. Every time you throw that thumbs up, I'm gonna put it on here, man. You've been looking out. All right. So let's get into the Eagles, right? So the Philadelphia Eagles. You know what? Let's read off these bulletin points right here. So the author for this article has the Philadelphia Eagles, right? They have the mock odds to win the NFC East with 23%. BetMGM has the odds to win the NFC East, right, with a plus 170 to 37%. And then mock odds have them making the playoffs with 47.9%. And then BetMGM odds for them to make the playoffs is negative 160 to 61.5%. Right? And then so now I'm looking at it, and the Eagles have nearly a 20% chance of winning 9 games. And then the highest total is around 16 to 17%. The Eagles win 8 games. And then the next total, I believe, is 10 games. Or did I say 10 games twice? The first, all right, so my bad. The first time was 8. So it was 16 to 17% that they win 8 games. And then the same almost applies for 10 games. And then, you know what? Let me go back to the Cowboys, because I think I skipped that little bar graph too. So the Cowboys actually have about a 21% to win 11 games. And then they have a 19% for them to win 10 games. Right? And then, you know what? Let me read these bulletin points too, because I already read the Eagles, so I can't miss out on this, man. I got to give y'all the sports bets. I got to give y'all the odds, man, because I love y'all, man. I got to let y'all know. So mock odds for them to win the NFC. So the Cowboys to win the NFC East is 59%. For them to win the NFC East in BetMGM is plus 130, which is 43.5%. Now the mock odds for them to make the playoffs is 78%. And then for them to make it to the playoffs from Vegas is negative 375%. So you know what? I'm gonna go back to that, but I want to dig into the Eagles a little bit. I don't want to go back to the Cowboys, man. I hate talking about the Cowboys. Nah, I'm kidding with y'all, man. I love the Cowboys. Well, I love talking about them. I don't love them. I hate them, actually. So let's read into this. So Jalen Hurts rounds out one of the best rosters in football, and the Eagles become contenders in the NFC with Super Bowl hopes. Hurts is a serviceable quarterback in the NFL, but there are questions about his ability to raise a team's ceiling. He can prove everyone wrong this year by becoming more efficient through the air while continuing to confine defense with his legs. If Hurts can consistently play at an above average clip, the Eagles have a ceiling as high as any team in the NFC. right? The addition of AJ Brown opens up everything in the passing game and creates an unstoppable three-headed monster with Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert. Even if Hurts doesn't take a big leap forward, these receiving options should make his life exponentially easier, right? So if things go wrong, if Hurts doesn't progress as a passer, and this offense continues to struggle against quality competition, the Eagles made their run to the postseason last season, mostly against subpar competition. The Eagles won games against the Falcons, Panthers, Lions, Broncos, Saints, Jets, Commanders twice, and the Giants. Their losses came against the 49ers, Cowboys twice, Chiefs, Bucks twice, Raiders, Chargers, and then my Giants. So the Eagles have a Super Bowl odds of 2.8%, which ranks 17th in the league, right? So, all right, so let's get a quick little overview and a summary of that. So, I agree with what they got right, or what the Eagles got right. The Eagles, hands down, I think they have by far the best roster in this division, hands down. They have a better line as of right now. They have better receivers, healthy receivers. We've already mentioned the addition of AJ Brown from the Tennessee Titans, and AJ Brown is a huge physical receiver, right? Devontae Smith is definitely going to be looking to put up some numbers this year. I like Miles Sanders. I think they should give him the ball more. And then that defense, that Philly defense, and then that rookie that they just drafted on their defensive line, whoo, I'm telling you, the Eagles are going to be dangerous. Now, I 100% agree. I think everybody's on the same page when it comes to Jalen Hurts and his ability to lift this team, because it is on Jalen Hurts' shoulders. If Jalen Hurts cannot produce, if he is not able to do the things required of him, and it's not like they're looking for him to necessarily be a hero every time. He just needs to be somewhat more efficient. Get the ball out the pocket. Don't extend plays with your legs all the time. Sometimes take the check down. So, and these are, I'm not saying anything new. I'm not saying anything that Jalen Hurts doesn't already know. And the NFL game is really fast. So, the situations like this, you can't necessarily adjust at that moment. But right now that Jalen Hurts has some experience under his belt, now he's at a point in his career where there are no more excuses. The Philadelphia Eagles last year, they weren't even predicted to make the playoffs. They were projected to be the worst team in the NFC East. Yet despite all that, the Eagles still managed to make the playoffs last year. Even though they lost against the Buccaneers, they still managed to go to the playoffs, which is indeed impressive. You got to give credit to where credit is due. And I'm a Giants fan, man. I despise these cats. But you know what? At the end of the day, this is my assessment. I 100% agree with what Austin had to say here in this article about the Eagles, right? So let's go on to the next team. Let's see what team is after this. So it is the Washington Commanders, right? So the mocks have them at 14% to win the NFC East. Vegas has them plus 500 with 16% to win the NFC East. The mock has them making the playoffs with 34%. And then Vegas has the Commanders with plus 150 and a 40% chance to make the playoffs, right? And then so now if you look at this little bar graph here, basically what they're saying is that they have an 18 to 19% chance to win 8 games. And then their next follow-up is about, I'll say 17. Yeah, I'll say about 17% to win 9 games. So I think that's a little bit modest in my opinion. I got the Washington Commanders probably maybe winning 7-8 games. I don't see, I think it should be a little bit more towards the left rather than more a little bit more to the right, but it's a little bit it is a little bit shifted more to the left. I mean, I don't see them winning 10 or 11, 11 games. I don't see that happening. But to have them, I mean, yeah, it is kind of fair. All right, so it's 8 and then 9. I think 7 should be higher than 9, but that's just my opinion. Okay, so let's get into a little reading. So if things go right, Carson Wentz gives the Commanders the boost they didn't have last season. When they went 7-10, better quarterbacks play allows Washington to take home the divisional crown. My model does not love Carson Wentz, but he's surely an upgrade from Tyler Haneke. Right? Jahan Dotson hits the ground running and proves he was worth the mid-first round selection after being mocked near the end of the first. Dotson has had big playability and is great in open space. Dotson can be a great second option behind Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry, and only will be making things easier for wide receiver third guy Curtis Samuel. A very dominant receiving core in Washington surprises people and rejuvenates Wentz's career. If things go wrong, so Chase Young misses more than a little bit of time, and the defensive line remains banged up. Linebackers are not great unless Jamin Davis takes a big second-year leap, and if the defensive line doesn't hold up, this plays as one of the worst defensive fronts in the league before Young returns. Wentz continues to underwhelm and fails to figure out with his 13 in as many years. He struggles to click with his receivers and the offense is stuck in neutral. If those things go wrong, sure, there still may be talent to win some games, but that puts them in a very difficult position. If they have another 7-10 season or 6-11, they won't be in the position to draft a top quarterback in next year's NFL draft. If you're Washington, if things go bad, you want them to go really bad. So the Commanders Super Bowl odds has the Commanders at 1.8% to win the Super Bowl, which ranks them 21st in the NFL. Right? So let me not get into that. We're gonna talk about the Commanders here a bit. So I don't care about the Commanders. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, but I'm gonna still point this out. Right? First topic when it comes to the Commanders, first thing you got to think about, who's their quarterback? Carson Wentz, right? So that was pointed out here for a little bit, is Carson Wentz needs to perform. He has to. Carson Wentz has to perform. This is his third team. He was on the Eagles, he was on the Colts, and now he is on the Commanders. And so he's got a couple guys. They pointed out Dotson. They pointed out Scary Terry, Terry McLaurin, who is arguably probably top 10 receiver in the game today. So despite all that, I don't see the Commanders really having an advantage or even any hope to win this division. But basically, what I'm gonna say is it's heavily predicated on Carson Wentz performing. And then also, we pointed out Chase Young missing a couple games. He did have an injury, right? So that might be a setback. And they're making a very valid argument that the Commanders probably have one of the worst defensive fronts in the league before Chase Young even returns, right? So we got to look out for that. But you don't got to look out for the Commanders, though, because they suck. All right, so the next team is the New York Giants, man. My guys, the Big Apple from East Rutherford. Man, it always breaks my heart how the Giants are never playing in New York, man. It sucks. But let's talk about it. So the Giants have a 3.6 chance of winning the NFC East from the mocks. But Vegas has them winning with a plus 750, 11% chance of winning the NFC East. The mock has them getting into the playoffs with a 10% chance. And then Vegas gives the Giants plus 200, a 33% chance to make the playoffs. And then so they are giving my Giants either 19 to 20% to win either 6 or 7 games if things go right. Daniel Jones puts it all together behind a robust offensive line and a stellar receiving core and leads the Giants into the playoffs. Jones has had stretches of promising play in his young career, but issues with consistency as well as putting the ball on the turf have hindered his ability to become a long-term answer in New York. Brian Boyle brings one of the brighter minds in the NFL, helps Jones takes his game to another level. The Boyle engineered one of the league's best offenses in Buffalo the past 2 years and looks to bring the success he had with Josh Allen to New York for Jones. The two QBs do have somewhat similar playing styles and athletic skills. Kadarius Toney stays healthy and plays at a top 10 receiver level. Toney showed potential in his rookie season, but has struggled to stay healthy, and he is still recovering from a knee injury this summer. All right, so if things go wrong, Jones continues to underwhelm the Giants' offense and continues to struggle. Jones' main problem through his career has been turnover. He is almost averaging 2 interceptions or fumbles per game in his career. Yes, you have read that right. Daniel Jones has played 38 games in his career, and he has managed to have 65 interceptions and fumbles. Those problems continue, and the Giants will be looking to pick up Bryce Young or CJ Stroud in next year's NFL draft. Thibodeau and the rest of the defensive line disappoint. The Giants really struggled to get after the passer last season, ranking 3rd lowest in the NFL passer rating, Pro Football Reference. All right, so the Giants Super Bowl odds, they give them a 0.5. They give them a 0.5 to win the Super Bowl, which ranks 28th in the NFL. I think that should be higher, man. They need to cut me some slack, man. Why can't we be higher? What's wrong with that? The Giants can't be higher? We can't win no Super Bowl? Man, hell nah, man. Y'all trying to violate. Right. So, let's assess this. So you already know how I feel about Danny Doodoo, right? Daniel Jones. I'm not big on guy. And I agree 100%. I mean, who would, you know? The turnovers have been an issue. Have been a huge issue. This guy, a real talk, man. He just can't hold on to the football. Y'all just read it. He played 38 games. And he had 65 turnovers? That's almost double than the games that you played. So I'm like, come on, man. Are you serious? I mean, but in lighter news, you know, because part of this article and part of what he said about the New York Giants is trying to stay positive. Because if it does go right, we do have a new head coach. And new head coaches, right, does bring a new change, a new look to the offense. And the fact that 65, yes, bro, 65. Let me pop it up right here. Where was it at? Yes, 65 interceptions and turnovers in 38 games. 38. Yes, you've read that right. You read that right. I said it right. You know? And so just with this new team, right? With this combination, and they've made a comparison with Daniel Jones and Josh Allen, which I think is blasphemy. I don't think anybody should even say something like that ever again, unless you want to get your, you know, your sports card taken away from you. But to be fair to the author and his analogy, he made a skill comparison. And I could somewhat agree to that analogy, because if Daniel Jones weren't turning the ball over, right, there could be potential as it pertains to what Daniel Jones can actually do. But the problem with the Giants is that they're a low-scoring offense. We cannot score the ball. We suck. We can't score shit. So who is the person that you look at first when your offense can't get no stability? I mean, yeah, you can go from the GM to the head coach the offense coordinator. But then ultimately, who is the guy running the show? That is Daniel Jones, right? So there's a lot on this man's shoulders. He is going to be looked at to perform. So we are definitely going to be looking at Daniel Jones and paying a very close attention to him. You know what though? But I would hope that the Giants suck, because if they do, we can pick up either Bryce Young or CJ Stroud, because I'm tired of this cat. I'm tired of Daniel Jones, man. Get out of here, man. You suck, bro. All right. So let's take a quick peek at those odds. And you know what? I'm not too concerned about the Washington Commanders and the New York Giants, because you already know, man, they're gonna. Yeah, I don't want to look at those. But you know, let's look at the teams who they have being a two-man race, which is between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles, right? Because I did see some numbers that did stick out, and I do want to point out. So the Philadelphia Eagles, right? So let's go off this betting odds. I'm not going to do mock, because mock is just a prediction, somebody's prediction. You're not doing anything like that, right? So Vegas has the Eagles with plus 170 to win the division, and then minus 160 to make the playoffs. So they have a higher chance to make the playoffs, but they have a lower chance of winning the division. Right? So we already know how that works out. A team can make the playoffs without winning the division. They just give up their right to be able to play the first game at home if you don't win the division. But I think that's a very fair analogy, honestly, at least with making the playoffs. But when it comes to winning this division, honestly, I would have the Eagles around 40 to 45% to win this division. I just think this team is just too stacked right now. They have a good looking roster up until the point where this team starts getting injured. As of right now, the Eagles have the best roster in this division. So 37% to win this division? No, I'm not taking that. And the fact that the mock has them lower, he's giving them 23% to win this division. I'm sorry, I don't see how you go down, because where did he have the Cowboys? 59%. So you give the Eagles 23%. Then you give the Cowboys 59%. And then for Vegas has the Cowboys, right? They're giving them a 43% chance, a plus 130 to win the division, and then a minus 300 to make the playoffs, which is 75%. Right? So I'll be fair in that. I think the Cowboys should have a higher percentage to make the playoffs, because I mean, that just goes to show, you know, how valued quarterbacks are in the league. Once you have a quarterback, right, it's a completely different story. Completely different, right? So you got to start looking at this and acknowledging, hey, quarterbacks matter. They're a very big part as to why and how a lot of these teams win or make it to the Super Bowl. Right? But I do not agree with the 59% and the Eagles 23%. I think the Eagles should be a lot higher. I think it should be more so a landslide. I don't have a problem with the Dallas Cowboys being the favorite, but I think it should be a whole lot closer, especially the way that we're talking about the Eagles, and we're talking about the running game, the receiving core, defensive line, the line, and just the fact that the Eagles might have a better coaching situation at the moment. I don't think Mike McCarthy is a bad coach, but as of right now, I think he's catching a lot of heat, strictly based off the notion that Mike McCarthy has limited power as it pertains to football operation, or at least that's how it's perceived, right? Because what does Mike McCarthy do? You know, anybody let me know. Let me know in the comment section. Does Mike McCarthy do anything for the Cowboys? And I'm not trying to, go crazy and disrespect. I mean, hey, people in the media are saying this. There's other people that are saying this. Skip Bayless is saying this, right? And so with the Cowboys, we already know that they don't have no Super Bowl in their future as long as things are operated as the way they are, with Jerry Jones continuously running the show. And he does a great job. But with the Cowboys, you can't just build around the draft, man. You got to be ambitious. You got to go after those big names, man. Look at what the Rams just did. They went after Jalen Ramsey. They went after Von Miller. They gave up picks, and guess what? They won a Super Bowl. So what does that tell you, Jerry Jones? You got to attract free agents. It's not a one-way train. You got to be able to be versatile when it comes to approaching your roster. But what do I know? I'm not a GM. I'm just a guy here talking on YouTube, right? So while I bring up YouTube, for anybody that's that's tuning in right now, please like and subscribe to CashSports. I would graciously appreciate it. Because at the end of the day, man, I'm doing this because I enjoy it. And also, I know y'all see that Cash App at the bottom. If you guys would so humbly donate, I would graciously appreciate it. But it is optional. Yeah, I'm gonna just leave it at that, right? We don't need to keep triggering on at that. And also, please look out for the offers. It is coming soon. I know I keep bringing it up. I know I keep talking about it. Y'all probably looking at me like, look, man, what are you talking about, bro? Like, what's going on here? I'm just saying, keep your heads peeled. Keep your eyes open. Right? Because it is coming. I am going to provide you with offers, opportunities, making sure that you guys are right, because I'm not just going to sit here and just talk sports and then that's it. I'm not going to just sit here, talk sports, and ask you guys for your money. That's what I'm not going to do. What I am going to do is try to make it, an equivalent exchange. The best as I can, So if anybody, let me check out the comments. Okay. Nothing really here so far that I can really read off. But I'll just leave it at that. So thank you all for tuning in to another video at CashSports Podcast. Once again, please like and subscribe and hit that notification button so whenever I go live, y'all can tune in whenever, however. Well, not however, but whenever. Well, definitely not whenever too, because I got the on too, right? But whenever I come on, you guys can hop on and then we can be having this conversation, because look, I'm done with my topic. I'm waiting for y'all, man. I don't see Cash App, bro. It's not at the bottom. Let me see. You don't see it? All right, you know what? Let me put it right here. That's weird though. Right there, bro. In big letters. Just so for anybody who wants to swing that, feel me? All right. So once again, I humbly appreciate anybody that tunes in. Oh, I see it at the bottom of the screen. Yeah. See, yeah. Hey, man. Hey, kudos to you, bro. I'm about to have me a good time myself here pretty soon after I go to the gym. So for those, man, hey, I love working out. So anybody who's watching, man, if you guys want some tips on how to work out and get into shape, I'm definitely here for you, man. Just let me know if you guys want more opportunities like that as pertains to you guys, tips and tricks to making sure that you guys are staying in shape, because you guys should be staying in shape, man. You don't want to be no big guy, man. You don't want to be wheezing and breathing hard and your heart start hurting when you reach 50 years old. Come on, bro. You don't be going through all that. And I know y'all trying to look for some ladies out there. Feel me? Y'all trying to be the best y'all can be. So look out for that too. So like I said, if you guys want any run that by me, not for sure, bro. I definitely got you, man. I definitely got you. Just let me know. You have, I know, Void, I know you have my number, so you, if there's anything. Oh, I see, I was looking in the description. You know what, that makes a very good point. I should put that in the description. I should put I should put that in the description so people can find that. That would be easier. But I do got to fix up my description boxes, because that's where I'm going to be putting offers. So stay tuned to that, right? And I certainly will be running that by you, man. I mess with you, Void. For real. We homies. You already know. All right. So I'm just going to conclude it right here. I don't want to keep stalling. So once again, I thank you all for tuning in to Cash Sports. Once again, have a wonderful time.